I've worked out a way around it. You just need to put on your wellies and your special gloves. But it's boiling. Please, Max, just give it a try. We could go off on a trip somewhere. Wouldn't that be fun? Max sighed, then went over to the coat rack in the hall. He shoved his bare feet into his black rubber boots, which already felt hot and sticky. Then he picked up his special gloves and felt even worse. They weren't special at all. They were just ordinary rubber washing-up gloves. He hated them more than anything, but he often had to wear them in public, especially if they went on a train or a bus. That was dreadful. No one wore Wellington boots in London, especially when it wasn't even raining. And rubber gloves just made you look strange. It might have been bearable if they had been black, like his boots, but the only ones in the supermarket that were small enough for Max were bright yellow, just to make it extra obvious that he was wearing washing-up gloves. He hated the powdery feel of them, and their horrible, sweet smell. They reminded him of how weird he was. It hadn't always been like this. Up until Max was 8, he had been completely ordinary. He could change the channels of the television without breaking it, and he was able to touch household appliances without using a wooden spoon. Then, soon after his 8th birthday, he had been at his friend Sammy's house playing a video game, when suddenly he felt a sharp stab of pain in his fingers, and the game's console had died. No one could revive it. Sammy's father had suggested that they use his old one instead, but as soon as it was Max's turn, the same thing happened. Both Sammy and his parents had gone a bit silent after that, and the next day in class, Sammy ignored him completely. Similar things started happening at school, too. There was an incident with the lights at the Christmas concert, a full-on disaster in the computer room, and within 6 months, Max had gone from having lots of friends to having no one at all. Now people seemed to sense that there was something wrong with Max just by looking at him. Although it had only been 4 years since his problem started, it felt like an eternity. He had never heard of anybody else reacting to electricity in the same way. Even the doctor couldn't explain it. It was as if he was cursed. "Come on," cried his mother, hurrying past him, carrying a large, bulging plastic bag. Max followed her down the front steps and out onto the street. The new car was parked right in front of their house. It was black and shiny, and his mother stroked it gently, as if it was a horse or a cat. "Don't look so worried," she said. "You've been in cars before and it's been fine." "Yes, but there wasn't a giant battery sitting underneath those cars, was there?" "I've thought it all through," said his mother, firmly. She opened the door on the passenger side, then pulled a large, rubbery sheet out of the plastic bag. "I'll just spread this over the seat, and then you'll be completely safe." Max stared at the sheet in horror. It was the kind of thing that you put on beds to stop people weeing on them. "I can't sit on that," he croaked. "People will think I wet myself." "Don't be silly," she said. "It's the most practical solution." She went around the car and got into the driver's seat. "Get in," she called, leaning over towards him with an encouraging smile. Max climbed into the car. He sank down into the rubber-covered seat, which made a gentle farting noise as he lowered himself into it. The sheet smelled just like the washing-up gloves, and it stuck to the bare skin of his arms, below the short sleeves of his t-shirt. "See?" said his mother, beaming at him. "It's all fine." "So, where do you want to go? You choose." "The beach," said Max, at once. He loved the sea, but as they lived in London, he hardly ever got a chance to see it. "It's a bit far," said his mother, looking doubtful, but then she caught sight of Max's eager face. "All right," she said. "Let's do it." Max felt his spirits soar. The new car was actually quite nice. Everything looked expensive and shiny, and there were lots of screens everywhere, which lit up as soon as the motor was switched on. Max settled back in.